Hello, this is Tim Mathis with Tim's Toy Finds, and we got a great Christmas sweater and episode for you today. I picked up this pretty big and pretty diverse lot. There's a bunch of different types of toys in here. Got this off Goodwill, so let's go ahead and do the unboxing, and then we'll start talking about what's inside. As you can see, it's some stuff in there. Didn't know they were gonna wrap it with this shiz. All right. You never know what you're gonna get when Goodwill wraps it, because they don't have exactly one standard form. So, oh man. All right, so right off the bat, we do have a bunch of the LJN wrestling figures. This is obviously Roddy Piper, R.I.P. Rowdy. Speaking of Rowdy, he was in the movie They Live, which is a movie about corporate takeover, propaganda, etc. And basically just how the elite 1% run the country and we all end up with nothing. So, Merry Christmas. Staying with the LJN line, one of the most popular wrestlers of all time, obviously. Easily the most popular one in the 80s. This is the Hulk Hogan figure, one of many Hulk Hogan figures from that line. Let's see. This one's from 1984. So, whichever line that was. I'm not too familiar with the LJN stuff, but they display well. This one needs a lot of cleaning work. All right. That's looks like it's all for the LJN line. Staying with wrestling, however, there are a couple of other wrestling figures in this lot. Two that I already have. These are from the Hasbro line. This is obviously Big Boss Man. Not bad on the paint job on here. So, looking good. As far as this is Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who does not have his 2x4. But the paint doesn't look too bad either. These are two decent figures. So that's all for the wrestling figures. Like I said, this is a pretty diverse line. And looks like we'll do these next. This is Thundercats, if you didn't know. Now, I don't know all that much about Thundercats per se. So I don't know what this guy's name exactly is. But I do know it looks like his action still works. So that's always good. These older figures, a lot of them had these spring action stuff for the kids, and a lot of that is broken at this time. But this guy still has it. As you can see, there's a lever on his back. Not bad. This is one of the younger Thundercats. I actually have the other one running around somewhere. So, good. That's how you do it. You get a big lot like this, you match up the toys, and so there you go. And this, I believe, is Thundercats. I could be wrong. So if I am wrong, please correct me. Actually, this might be... What year is this from? Doesn't look like Thundercats. ...1985 TSR. TSR is Dungeons and Dragons. So this is probably Dungeons and Dragons. Not entirely sure. But yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. Interesting. And this I actually believe is Dungeons and Dragons, but I could of course be wrong. I didn't really collect Dungeons and Dragons that much, so I don't know that much about them. If you have any information about this figure, please let me know. It is, yeah, 1985 TSR. So more than likely this is a Dungeons and Dragons figure as well. I'm going to be doing a whole episode about figures that I haven't been able to identify just off the top of my head. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a list, probably at the end of the year. This is from an earlier line to the Hasbro line. Might even be a bootleg. I believe this is Big John Studd. I'm not entirely sure. Interesting story about him. He died from cancer in the mid-90s. People say it may have been from taking too much HGH, but there's that. We did get one Motu figure in this lot. I collect a lot of Motu. This is those rock people. Not sure on the name of this guy in particular, but if you remember, their big claim to fame was they transform into a rock. Everything in the 80s had to have an element of Transformers, but of course you couldn't call them Transformers because then you would get sued into Cybertron. But this is one of the 3 rock characters. I believe this is the younger of the 2 male characters. They also had a female character. They're basically robots with rock exteriors. So. Right. This is interesting. I didn't have this anything in this line. This is Knight Rider. Obviously, his hand is problematic. It looks like it may have been burned or cut off or something like that. So, not the best figure in the world, but I'll probably still keep it just because I don't have any Knight Rider stuff. Other than that, it's good sculpt. So, interesting. I have no idea what this is. None whatsoever. It looks like something I've never seen before. It might even be a newer toy. Is there a year on it? It's from 1985. So this is an older toy, and I've never seen anything like this. Yeah. If you have any information about this thing, please let me know, because it would be news to me. Looks like we got 2 mask figures here. Never really collected the mask line as a kid. These are going to be figures that I'll have to identify as well. But there we go. 2 of them. If you got any information, as always, let your boy know. Oh, here's one. This is obviously a Transformer. It's a smaller one from 1986. Looks like some sort of Bumblebee variant. I don't know how to untransform it. I never really messed with too many Transformers. You lose the parts so easily. Yeah. I don't even know how to undo this, so I'll figure it out eventually. Again, this is something. What is this? I have no idea. This is one reason why I like to collect toys, because sometimes it looks like it's some sort of a transformational thing. Yeah, there we go. It's some sort of pterodactyl or pterodon, if you're a jerk. So I'm not sure what line this is from. It doesn't look like Transformers, but I could be wrong. It's got all kind of weird dials and stuff on it. I'm going to have to look this stuff up, because I have no idea. If you have any idea what this is, let me see if I can find a date on it. Yeah. 1985. And it's Bandai, so that means that it could be some kind of, it's probably some kind of Japanese toy that I'm not familiar with, bottom line. a Star Wars figure. So, not too bad. Speaking of Star Wars, Mandalorian is a great series. If you're not watching it, you should watch it. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni saved Star Wars. Thank you. This toy has metal in it, which means it's definitely some kind of, I think, Japanese toy. I don't know much about toys that. This is really odd to me. What year is this from? 1988. So I have to find out what line this is that was in this lot that I was unfamiliar with. This has plastic and metal parts. As a kid, I don't remember anything from the 80s that was like this. At least not in the United States. So I assume this is some sort of Japanese toy that I'm just not familiar with the line. So I'm going to look them up, and we're going to do a whole episode on toys that I could not recognize, and a lot of them have been from this lot. So if you have any information about this stuff, please let me know. I'm not even sure. Let's see. This is LJN. So I'm not sure. LJN 1988, some sort of robot gorilla. And this as well. I mean, this just looks like some kind of wind-up toy that, I don't know, it's not an action figure. This is the older bad guy in Karate Kid 2, which, by the way, I know apparently some of the antagonists from that series are coming back. I think this person may have, the actor that played him is probably deceased. He was basically the Okinawan version of Miyagi, who was evil in the movie, but then he turned once he realized that his philosophy was wrong. It looks like, yeah, his action, while it's not in the best shape, it still works. So not bad. I believe there is another action, and that may not work. Oh, both actions work. That's great. He doesn't have his karate gi. But I am slowly collecting Karate Kid figures, especially Cobra Kai is a big hit, so always good to make sure to watch what toys are getting updates as far as maybe their action figures and movies, TV shows, etc. Because the 80s are coming back in a big way. People are really nostalgic for that stuff. I'm not sure on this one. Maybe Ghostbusters. It is from, let's see. Yeah, it looks like Warner Brothers, so I assume Ghostbusters, if that's who did Ghostbusters. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, this is just a random bad guy from one of those things. Got some weird action here. And Rambo from that, I believe it was called Freedom Force. So this is one of the Rambos I don't have. This is him with a sleeveless hoodie, so a trendsetter all the way back in the 80s. As you can see, one other thing about the Rambo, that line they had, they came with a ton of weapons, which I guess that would make sense. And all these belts had, you know, multiple stuff. It looks like he had at least 5 things that fit into this belt. I don't have any of them. So if you know how to get accessories to stuff like this, other than just looking on eBay and overpaying for it, let me know. But this is a solid line. Not the best articulation in the world. Just the knees and the shoulders, it looks like, and the legs. But, you know, still a decent looking figure. And actually looks like Stallone. Sort of. So. And this last one, this is CoverGirl from GI Joe. This figure's in great shape, which is good. GI Joe's a really hot property right now. Prices on all these are going up. So this is the driver of the Wolverine tank, 1983, I believe. So a good figure, good pickup. And finally, this, which fell out. This looks like a, I don't know. I don't know what this is from. It's not a GI Joe. It's not an older GI Joe. There's no markings on this. It looks like just a random guy in a hunting outfit. So I'm going to have to do some research on it. It doesn't ring any bells. If you know anything about this figure, let me know. I don't think it's from the vintage GI Joe line. It might have been from some other stuff, but he doesn't look like it's big enough. He's not a 12-inch figure, so I'm not sure. But other than that, that's all for the Christmas and or holiday episode. Whatever you do with your family and friends, if you can, with the whole COVID situation, try to enjoy it and try to have a merry whatever you call it. Anyway, I'm Tim, and that's been Tim's Toy Box.